Whoa. That like shot halfway across the garage. Okay guys, did you ever have an idea that you were so excited about because you thought, I'm the first one to think about this, and this is going to save me so much time, and I bet nobody's ever thought about this before, and I'm so glad I thought of this because this is going to help me so much? Well, that's what just happened to me. With this lock and lube, I love this thing. This saves me so much time, from greasing the tractor to the vehicles, the diesel pickup to the Jeep to all the implements. I do a lot of greasing, and this thing saves me a ton of time. It locks on really hard when you pop it on the grease zerk and then drop it. It locks on super tight. So even the 10 bazillion, quadrillion PSI that this thing makes, whatever it is, I don't know, but it's a lot, it stays on. So I really like this thing. Problem is, it's got kind of a big head on it, and so it doesn't fit everywhere that you want it to fit. So on my Tundra, this wouldn't fit. There was one grease zerk on my Toyota Tundra this wouldn't fit, and I've also found on my JK there's one that this won't fit either. So also, it's not a needle. So sometimes you need a needle grease head, right? So what do? Maybe you do what I do, where you go out and get your parts. You're like, okay, let's see. Got my, there's some extras here. Now this is one of the original ones that comes off a regular grease gun, and you can see how much narrower it is, okay? But in the case of my Tundra and my JK, that one stupid grease zerk that I can't get this on no matter how I position the drive shaft, or this, I had to bevel one down, and that's just enough to get this grease adapter onto the grease zerk. Problem is, it's threaded there and it's threaded there. So what do? Oh yeah, I gotta take that one off and take. Which size is this? I haven't done this for 6 months, so I can't remember. Is that a half? Is that three? Is that 3/4? So I get a handful of wrenches. And okay, let's see. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Now, some mechanic types could look at that and go, oh, that's a 9/16 or whatever. Okay, well, I'm not that smart, so that's a 9/16, so I need that one. But I get these apart, and oh, that's a half right there. That's not it. Well, that's a kind of a 9/16 there, so I'll take this one apart, put this one on. So 5 minutes later, you know, I'm ready to grease my one thing on my Dodge Diesel that I have to grease on the drive shaft with this thing. Then I got to take it apart, put it back on. So I thought, what if I took some grease zerks, some threaded grease zerks, and I bought some, and put them on all my adapters right here. That way I could pop them in right here. And I thought, this is a great idea. So I asked my mechanic buddy about it. I said, hey, what do you think about my great idea? And he's like, oh, I did that like 20 years ago. I said, okay, so now I'm kind of let down. You know, I'm kind of depressed that it wasn't my original idea, but it's still a good idea. Now it's going to save me some time. So let's put some of these in and see if this really works. Okay, we're just going to use the straight one here, screw it in. And this 14 millimeter seems to fit this actually a little bit better. This is a 10 millimeter. And that's what it looks like. Now let's see if it locks in. Okay. That's fairly rigid. Now let's see if it works. Whoa. That like shot halfway across the garage. All right. So that's going to do. Just have to wipe it off when I take it off. And for this one, I can't remember. I think I'll be able to get a straight shot on as well. It's just that the grease zerk tip is very, very close to the inside of the yoke. So it's really, really hard to get a square tip on there, if that makes sense. It's almost like that square tip just hits like right there. And then this narrow one will be able to go all the way on it though. I don't necessarily need to have direct pressure because once I snap this on, it should stay on, but I don't have a lot of room to tighten it down. You see what I'm saying? Right, that loosens it and that tightens it down. That'll tighten it down in a grease zerk so it won't come out. So we'll loosen it like that. We can pop the grease zerk in real easy. And then with some pressure, pushing it in, I guess, we can tighten that down. And that'll lock onto it, right? So it won't come off. There's not a lot of room to work when you up against a drive shaft, a U-joint inside a drive shaft. So the bottom line is I'm probably not gonna be able to tighten this one down very much. I'm gonna just loosen enough just to get it to snap over like that. And then I'll want a straight one on here as well so I can push with my hose, push this and hold it against the grease zerk, okay? So I'll also use the straight one here. Okay, so that's nice and snug. Let's try this one out. We'll just open the thing there, squeeze it right there. That should hold it in place. Let's see if the grease comes out. Oh, there's some old grease in there, Okay, now the good stuff's coming through. Okay, so let's just see how much time this is gonna save me. We'll time this, okay? Let's take this one off, take that one off. Let's just pretend this is my grease adapter that I'm gonna use, that I can't use this on whatever I'm doing because I need my needle or I need my narrow one, and I've got to take this off here. So let's just time this and see how this works. Okay, that's a 9/16. I remember now this one's a half, so this will speed this up just a little bit. Holy cow, who put this in here? I know I'm not that strong. Let's see, let's do this like this. There it goes. Good. Now it should unscrew. Screw the new one on. You know that's a half. Don't need to tighten down very tight, just enough to snug it. That'll be fine right there. Now out comes the grease. Good. Now it's on. I can do my grease job. Now we're going to take it off. Also need the half. This looks like 14 millimeters, seems to fit this okay. I'll put the old one back on because this is the one I use most of the time. And fortunately for my tractor, there's like, I don't remember how many grease points, but there's a bunch. There's like 20 something, almost 30 or right around 30. But fortunately I don't have to change anything out. I can do everything with this thing right here on the tractor. Okay, so that probably wasn't 5 minutes. I was exaggerating, I'm sure, but let's just see how quick it is now. Oh, that was blindingly fast, wasn't it? And we'll take it off, clean it. Oh, let's put the other one on. Ta-da! Okay, another time saver. These are extras. Do I really need all these? Probably not, but I'll put them on the shelf. Maybe I'll use them in the future for something. Oh, I already know. One of my grease Zerks broke off on my JK on one of the lower control arms. So I'm going to use one of these to replace that. This is definitely going to save me a lot of time. I'm much more happy. Greasing was one of my least favorite jobs to do. I hated greasing. I hated greasing for 30 years of doing my own stuff. When my buddy bought this for me, this tool, this electric grease gun, I never would have bought something like this for myself, but I loaned him a piece of equipment 2 or 3 times and he was appreciative and he bought this for me as a thank you present because I wouldn't take any money. So I really reluctantly took it and I thought, oh, I really don't need this. This is almost my favorite tool now. Some days when I use it, it is my favorite tool, but this thing has saved me so much time, so much energy, so much frustration of laying under a vehicle or laying under a tractor and trying to hold the grease gun nipple on and then pump grease by hand while you're laying in ants sometimes, or stickers or whatever, just trying to get the job done. And sometimes greasing is just not fun. And when there's 30 something grease zerks on your tractor, on the backhoe and on everything to grease, it's a lot. And it has to be done a lot so it lasts a long time. That's something you can't really neglect. So this tool has saved me a lot. This little adapter, even if you have a regular manual grease gun, this thing is a lifesaver because it really locks on. It locks on quick. Now, this one locks on, right? But you got to kind of turn it to lock it on. Doesn't take a lot of time, but just to be able to slap it on, click, and it's on. and pump the grease and then pop it off, wipe it off, and move to the next one. It goes so fast. It's a big time saver. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Hope this helps you, and I'll see you in the next video. And no more wrenches.